You want me to lead? All right. Uh, we're on. We're on. What's up, United Rogue Overwatch? We have a hot Ruby game coming tonight. We got the Dallas Vanguard versus the Chicago Syndicate. I'm here with Arunos in the casting booth here.
Yep.
And what are you excited for to see out of this match now? What are you excited to see what either of these teams pull out tonight?
Honestly, Doomfist at Ghostface. I know he can play it.
Ooh,
I watched.
I like the sound of that.
I watched several players in this lobby. Kind of actually on both teams. A little bit of Dallas, a little bit of Chicago.
Okay.
Play in a CGL match. Literally last night. And they pulled out a 3-0. So I'm expecting great things. Unfortunately, it's kind of friend versus friend here, teammate versus teammate. I believe Strider. I know Strider and Ghostface were there. I believe there's maybe a couple other people in this lobby who were there as well.
Yeah,
I know
I think a large chunk of Dallas is part of that CGL team. I think it's the Strider, Zach, Dallas trio.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
And I think Log is also involved in that as well. I think that's where a lot of this the team they built came from was running a CGL in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, they're running it literally last night here in week week 4. So I'm really excited to see kind of what they have cooked up against each other. You know, I've seen them play together.
See each other's playbooks. They read in each other's playbooks. They have some insider trading, if you will.
There's got to be a little bit of balance there, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that also forces them to pull out some maybe some unconventional things as well.
Maybe. I know for a fact that Ghostface is a fan of the Junker Queen, was playing it last night, has played it in past UR Overwatch seasons. What we're going to see out of Dallas here, I don't know. I know for a fact that they have excellent comms. It doesn't really matter, I think, what they pull. They're a very well-practiced squad.
They can make a lot of things work. I mean, we witnessed Dallas last season just mid-series switch Log and Zach and run the Ball Maga, do a full switch around and just completely change who's playing what, and it showed to work in their favor. So yep. I think that's definitely a strong showing of comms on their side.
We've got a light dusting of some glaze here from Rico in the chat. The Log Ball apparently is to be feared. I have not played with it, nor have I played against it, but I have witnessed it many, many times, and it is definitely something to fear. I will agree. Absolutely. So let's talk about our map bans here. What do we got?
Looks like they banned Dallas banned Antarctica, and Chicago's banned Helios. So we're gonna go to Busan here for map 1.
Have we seen any teams yet play Antarctic?
I feel like us on Pit have played it, but I might be switching things in my head. Maybe not.
I think Antarctic is like the most banned map so far that we have, which is, I mean, really sad. You know, it was my favorite arcade map back in OG Overwatch.
I think it's just maybe it's a result of some of the newer maps just falling out of favor compared to many of the new maps especially among Overwatch 1 veterans.
Very fair. With that, I think we're about to get underway. Week 4 here in Ruby League, Chicago versus Dallas. As we hit our halfway point here in the season in our regular 8-week. After this, for those of you who don't know, please remember we have a bye week this upcoming week. For those who are not American, it is for the American holiday of Thanksgiving, America's birthday or whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Rick and Morty reference, you know?
Yeah.
Dallas goobing. I'm not sure what I'm reading here in the chat from these players.
I had to zone out of chat for a little bit there. Oh yeah, I see. There it is. Dallas goobing.
Dallas goobing. Yeah, as I said, not quite sure what to do with that.
I think it's excitement on their end. I think they're locking in. I think that's what they call it.
You know what? That's what matters. That right there.
Exactly. That's exactly
what
what matters.
There you go. So here we are. Looking at that JQ mirror here.
Yeah.
A little bit of that sim action coming out from Zach here on
Very
the part
much.
of Dallas.
It's definitely. I did not expect to see Dyer coming out here on this Junker Queen.
We have multiple mirrors here. We've got a JQ mirror. We have a Cass mirror. We have a Moira mirror. And we have a Lucio
I
mirror.
missed the Moira mirror. Wow. It's basically just mirrored comps here, 4 for 4.
Other than JD on the Reaper and Zach now on May, these are the exact same comps from these teams. I am so interested to see what we're going to get.
Yeah, very, very interesting. It's like I feel like I tune into an OWCS broadcast, watch with all the mirror matchups here.
Yeah, right?
Watching that all weekend prior to when we're not running games here. So coming in with that early pick on the tank, trading it for the May here.
Excellent pick there, coming out from Strider and Darklaw.
And I was just about to say that Cassidy's dropping low, and they're going to get that pick. And it looks like Dallas here just wants to clean up on Chicago.
Dallas here running over the Chicago team, but not without losing a few of their own.
Oh.
They only have 3 on point at the moment, and Chicago's going to try to capitalize on that with a quick push with that Lucio JQ there. And actually managed to retake this point here, as Dallas looks to come back in for what is now going to be a full 5-on-5 here on point.
It's gonna be an interesting fight since we're seeing that beat already online from a soup can here. As I said, it just pops it instantly, and they're gonna take that pick on the May there, making it a 5v4 in the favor of Chicago here.
Ult's coming out real fast here as they're building them.
I was supposed to say, as soon as they get that button, they're pressing it.
Yep, and Dallas are going to capitalize on that. They need that percentage, and they take it back. I have a sneaking suspicion this series is going to be contested.
This is going to be a very, very, very close series, I would think as well. Because already just these fights are real scrappy. It's pick for pick, and just who can take advantage of those few early picks there and make a full collapse. And we even see it with popping ults as soon as they come online, is that they are just trying to win a fight as hard as possible, as fast as possible. Yep, Speaking of which here...
I mean, a great attempt there to separate the team with that wall by Zach. You know, really divide them up, divide and conquer here. But that Reaper ult came in, it worked against them, ended up trapping them down there all together.
And Chicago was going to use 2 ults there as well. I think we're 3 ults.
Yep. I mean, they're just moving here. They are absolutely moving. Great couple of picks there coming out of Strider. Very nice. And look at that. I mean, talk about
just back-to-back 5-0 fights. Each team not dropping a pick, but using their ults in the process.
Neither of these teams can stay alive. Neither one.
No. Yeah, it's just it's never. I think this is the first 5-0 fights from each team. Is they each won back-to-back fights without dropping a pick. So. But either team, they're going to want to keep doing it. They don't want to have this back and forth. They're going to just keep winning these fight after fight after fight, not having this back and forth, this trading of percentage constantly here.
Honestly, when it gets this close, the usage of ultimates, right, the ult economy is going to be all important here. As White Rain calls Blue Jay. And look at that. I mean.
Rampage
just
come
one
out,
after
2 for
another.
2.
Very nice picks from Dyer and Darklaw. But Dallas managed to edge out here.
And just eke it out here, getting those valuable picks, and not letting.
Cass is living though. Blue Jay's up.
There.
Manages to get the pick on the Zach. Is he going to get another one?
He's going to take the Lucio as well.
Oh my goodness!
Forcing it down to a 2v1.
Blue Jay. Oh man. It's takeable for Chicago here. They can fight
for
this.
sure. It bought a lot of time for the rest of that team to come in and regroup.
Absolutely, and they're going to capitalize on that with an immediate pick onto Dyer as Strider fights back, takes out JD, and they are 2v3 here, 2v4 now, with more players on the way.
They can take that pick on that Lucio there as well, and it's just the fight for the regroup.
And, I mean, Log goes down here, but I don't think Dallas are going to be able to make it back, or will they?
No.
They will not.
I mean, we have Dyer coming in here as well. And Strider's going to take that trade on the Cassidy as well, but I think the inability to be able to regroup his 5 there definitely was hurting Dallas, just as that clock is ticking down for them.
It is. They've got less than 10 seconds here in order to try and retake this point. They absolutely could do it if they could just make it. They might get boxed out there. And they get the full contest. A full 5v5 here for the final team fight, 99-99.
Trying to use that Deadeye to zone.
Doesn't manage to pick up any picks there. Blue Jay attempting to flank. And Log and Dyer go down to Chicago.
It looks like Chicago's just trying to clean everything up here to secure this final point for them.
And just barely edging it out. They do manage to take our first point here on Busan.
It's a very, very close point for this match here.
That is... If you're Dallas right now, I mean, it's not even like you're still in this. You're just as in this as they are. It's 100%.
It is still a neck and neck match as far as that is definitely.
This could go either way. This could go a best of 5.
Exactly. Easily. So looks like we're not seeing too much of a comp switch here, other than the dropping the tracers again for those retakes. But kind of Darklaw on the Soldier and Blue Jay onto the spoke too soon. It's back to the Reaper, but Blue Jay on the Hanzo here to open, dropping that Cassidy mirror. I think I like the Zarya pick here. I really do.
I do. Definitely a strong pick into Ghostface's JQ.
Yeah. It's the closest you can get to running a Kirika without completely changing up your support backline.
Exactly.
We're going to see a nice opening pick onto Blue Jay here.
Blue Jay gets
Dallas is cornering Chicago into the point. Phenomenal rolling off that Reaper.
Great stuff.
And it looks like Dallas is just going to try to get these last couple picks and clean things off. Not without dropping their Lucio in the process, though.
It's really great here watching. You can definitely see the comms coming out here on the part of Dallas.
Very strong divide and conquer they had going on. They're just taking isolated fights and picking off the stragglers.
But Chicago coming back here. Both teams relatively around the same ult economy. Chicago slightly worse. As we try to move here and for a possible Chicago retake. Or take.
Yeah, or take in the first place there. So they're trying to stage it here, look for the angle to drop in on, likely trying to see who they can collapse on to
just looks like they're going to try to
do the same thing Dallas is doing here.
Not a great idea against that high charge Zarya. Wall does not work for them.
It does slow their push a little, though, forcing their group. And we have a massive grab coming out from Dyer, forcing that beat. They're already going to take 2 picks.
Absolutely, and Chicago's just going to get absolutely splintered here. Probably going to try and reset, and they do.
That was a very, very clean fight for Dallas. I would like to say is, didn't have to use too many ults in the process. They used the grab, they used the Deadeye, and maybe the Deadeye was a little much, but I think it was very much it's either they die in the grab or they die to the Deadeye. It just separates both lines of sight, and they got 2 ults coming online for this next fight as well, with having their coalescence already on hand.
I mean,
we're gonna see that
it's close,
Blizzard and that beat come out.
Huge. Coming out there on the part of Log. But it's not going to save them as Chicago pops pretty much everything they've got and cleans up here on Dallas. A big part, I'll say, of the fight before this one, and also of this one, is these teams are making these fights quick. Not only, they're burning their own ultimates, but making sure that the other team doesn't get a lot of charge for their own.
Yeah, it's a very in and out, very... one and done fights. It's not just these. Apart from that last fight on that first point, you're not seeing these long, prolonged fights of a team going from 20 to 70% before the fight properly ends.
And we see an environmental kill. Dominance has been asserted as JD picks up 2 with a great ult there.
Awesome.
3rd on White Rain. And I think that's going to be it there for the Dallas push. I speak too soon.
Maybe not. It looks like this May Zarya is just coming in the beam duo.
Oh my goodness. There's no reason for them not to just walk now.
Yeah.
And they're going to get this retake, and this puts Chicago on the back foot here.
Not only that, it puts them at an immense disadvantage, is that they have to regroup as fast and take this fight as soon as they can. Because it's, you know, this is the last fight for them. If they don't win this, that's it.
And there it is. Blue Jay makes it, but gets picked absolutely immediately. Grab onto Ghostface. Will he make it out of that alive? Strider takes out one, and that is cleanup on the part of Dallas. And, true to form, just as predicted, we are 1-1 here on Busan.
Going to that 3rd point, Busan.
I think this is a trend. Or will be a trend.
I have to agree. I think it's going to definitely be it's definitely a strong showing of what we'll likely see for the series.
It's nice to see, though. We've had a lot of matches here this past week. You know, teams getting run over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really, you know, lopsided matchups, shall we say? But it is very refreshing to see two teams really just playing such great games on around the same level with one another. This makes for a great match. Is that SimTP comes out from Dallas, and they're about to meet Chicago here, top of 3rd point.
Looks like Dallas is really commanding this space here, forcing Chicago to have to play on this back end right in front of their doorway. But I'm gonna trade 1-for-1 for the DPS line here. Oh, taking a Mercy, and then they'll follow up the Lucio, and it's looking like this fight's coming up Dallas.
Dallas 4v2. I don't know if Blue Jay is going to be able to make it out of here. He's completely alone. Ends up getting, that's a late pick, a great stagger there by White Rain. And that's going to leave Chicago down a man here for this team fight.
Definitely going to force them to take these next couple fights a lot slower, as Dallas is not letting up on the pressure. They are trying to take this space. They're trying to hold this angle and make sure that they don't get the time to set up for a full regroup.
They are. Unfortunately, that wall doesn't get anybody, as Chicago start pushing on out of there, taking that big space. And Soup Can taking out Log. Blue Jay picking up a kill on Strider as White Rain trades back to Soup Can. And Chicago get the point flip. Yeah. Will Dyer be able to make it out here as Zach resets? I'm thinking that's going to be a yes.
I would like to think so. I think the Zarya bubbles are gonna help him get out there, and it was definitely an interesting fight. It was a fight without it really being a fight. As Dallas ended up getting real staggered there, and Chicago took a few picks, and Dallas just rescinded to that point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see the Cole for Cole here with Log getting picked early in this fight.
Yeah, Dallas at a significant disadvantage here in this choke.
Yeah.
And I mean, either they walk or they just stand there and they die. As they get picked. I mean, both supports are gone now, and they decide to go for the grab, forcing the beat there.
Forcing the beat. We're also going to see that overclock come out and net 2 picks already. Make that 3 and 4.
Blue Jay picks up 4. Oh man, heartbreak here on the part of Dallas.
Very, very heartbreaking to see that come out of your grab as well.
I mean, it's you gotta be feeling good here for a few moments if you're Chicago. But Dallas looking at that, deciding that, hey, we realized the mistake here, and
we're going the other way.
Absolutely, Zach in the middle of this team.
Oh, I was thinking he was gonna use it as a Blizzard play, but maybe realized it was a little obvious.
There we go. Chicago using 2 ults here.
The B come up a little late to save some of his teammates, though. But Dallas isn't giving up just yet.
They aren't, but they don't have a whole heck of a lot of time here, unfortunately.
Not a lot of time and not a lot of resources, really.
No, they've got a lot of Chicago to get through. No, they start immediately. Great pick on the Soup Can. Oh no, the Ajax onto Recon. And Ghostface manages to pick up White Rain, but it's possible that they take this? In fact, it's a fact that they take this. Dallas making its... No, I'm sorry. 99-33 is too wide of a margin for Dallas to accept a loss here.
Yeah. And it's still looking. They only had to use that Blizzard in that fight. Now they had a Grav come online. They got that Deadeye coming online. They have this Coalescence coming online coming online there. They got 3 ults in the bank, and against Chicago's none. Maybe they got this Overclock coming, but
that's absolutely true.
That fight with just that.
They're gonna need those ults for later.
Great
Grav here coming out. Oh, that's a whole wipe. As Ghostface just gets picked on out. And still 2 ults. Fantastic there. Look at that ult economy.
Yes. Phenomenal ult usage there. And the 2 ults to Chicago 0 still.
Yep, and that puts them up for another team fight.
It's just like you were saying earlier, winning those fights fast to just prevent as little ult charge from being gained as possible.
Absolutely. As I said, ult economy is going to be our deciding factor here in this series. As Dallas wisely makes use of it here on the second run around.
Yeah.
And take a look at that. Now Log and
they know
Zach
they can force this to that 99 there to take this point here.
They sure can, and that's going to be a run for them. Fantastic plays there. Very strategic coming out of Dallas. Are they going to be able to clean this up? They might not. No, they definitely will. Here it is.
Yeah, it's just the staggering in on the side of Chicago here. Not much else they can really do, especially with that May wall closing off one of their 2 recontesters. And Dallas is going to take this map 1.
Yep. I mean, I'm going to be honest. They deserve it.
Yeah, they played very, very well in this. After that flip on that 3rd point there, they held that very, very well, using that strong ult economy.
Absolutely clinical there on the part of Dallas. I mean, Chicago, I think, we saw the opposite there out of Chicago earlier, allowing them to take one of those points. But I think it's good. I think both teams here are going to realize, if they haven't already, that it's time to really start being smart about that. The ult game in close matchups is everything. It can tip the scales right over.
That's the win con right there, is when when you're clearly just evenly matched in comms and mechanics. It's the ult economy. Who's burning more ults, basically.
It's not just that. As we mentioned earlier, it's the fact that these teams know each other. Not only do they know each other, they're teammates currently.
Yeah.
And actively competing elsewhere. So there's no tricks, there's no
absolutely
there's no hidden strategies, characters that one might play that the other doesn't know about. This isn't that kind of series. We might see
not at all.
A novelty pick here and there, for our viewers on stream, a little bit of entertainment. But at the end of the day, that's not, we're not seeing here two completely, don't know each other, never played before teams.
Yeah. No gimmicks are gonna really be found here. No map cheeses. It's gonna be. I mean, you can argue certain comps they might have could be a gimmick or a cheese, but it's realistically something they've all played before. There's not gonna be some, sudden hidden tech that they've been practicing, they've been labbing in the shadows. Like at least very unlikely.
Yep, I mean, we got an example of it in the chat right now. Ghostface selecting Numbani here for our next map, and Zach going surprise, surprise in the chat. I mean, they know each other's map.
Yeah, they just know they know the tricks.
There's no hidden strategies today. Not here, not now.
No. I think that's what's making this series as exciting as it is. It's what's making it as close as it is that it is just... It's almost like it's more of a mental game than anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're waiting here for match start, and Dallas decides to opt for defense first here, coming out from Zach.
Very excited to see what they're cooking on this defense here.
We'll see what
maybe see a Monkey or a Devo on the defense.
Listen. I'm not that I am a fan of Monkey or anything. But if you were to play Monkey, I wouldn't say no.
I have to agree. I think we love seeing a good monkey gameplay. I think there's a reason character's popular, not just because the funny monkey. I mean, I think he's just Monkey is a very very well designed hero in this game. I mean it's something that you don't even pick up on. And I only picked up on recently playing Overwatch Classic is realizing how little his kit has changed since the release of the game.
I mean, a testament to how well designed he was. Not just how well designed he was, but how well the balance. We talk a lot as Overwatch players a lot about balancing not being good in the game, and sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's really not. But overall, over the course of about the past, what is it now, about 8 years, we are
closing on 9.
As of next year, it's going to be 9. We have our balancing is good enough to where heroes like Tracer, heroes like Winston are still part of metas, and it's wonderful to see. I mean, I remember the OG Overwatch days of Miro going crazy on the Winston.
It's when a character only has a handful of numbers tweaks over the years and their kit is fundamentally played the same, I think it just shows a testament to design. I mean, you can even argue like characters who have been incredibly powerful in metas like Genji is the fact that his kit is still fundamentally the same as it was. It's just ultimately numbers have been lowered to account for to lowering his damage output, and as compared to a character like D.Va or Zarya or post-launch characters like Brigitte, who have had just monumental like quality of life feature changes to tweak them. And albeit some instances are exactly quality of life, you gotta add something to make the character not feel as terrible to play anymore. But other times you have a launch Brigitte issue where it completely requires the fundamental playing of the game to be changed in the instance of role queue.
Yep, and I think when I was recently just about 4 days ago asked by somebody whether Overwatch was worth playing these days, how whether the meta was still absolutely cooked, and I said, I'm going to be honest, I think that in a lot of ways, not in every way, but in some ways, Overwatch is actually Overwatch is in a better state than it ever has been. With new heroes and stuff like that to play.
Yeah, I definitely think the new heroes have been a big change. I think Juno's a prime example of that. Is she might have become like hard meta, at least in like towards those higher elos of play and pro play, but it's not because of her being necessarily overtuned or overpowered in the sense that like Maga wasn't on his release. It's just the fact that she's a well designed hero. She's a very very properly designed hero, and I know not only is she fun to play, but she's just very versatile in team comps, and I think that is what makes this game enjoyable to play in this current point is heroes like that.
Love that. And we see 2 pretty classic tanks here coming out with the D.Va on the side of Dallas, and we got the Winston coming out from Chicago.
And, looks like Chicago want to take this underside play here, but I think
Dallas is aware.
Accounted for, and they had that early dynamite, and so it delays the push a little bit, but
getting that pick that they were looking for, taking out Strider, but losing 2 of their own in the process.
And especially losing one of their supports in the process as well. Is that in this dive comp is that Ana is definitely a big value pick. Is that's how you're going to sustain through it all. Like compared to the range skills of this gear, they're both ranged, but like compared to the hyper mobility that Kiriko there. Speaking of the Kiriko, going to fall here.
Funnily enough, going after that Reaper in the back here was a massive mistake. It allowed Chicago time to regroup. At the loss of 1, they got 4 back, and now 5, as Dallas never manages to regain that support, and are forced to ult directly on point.
I see a very, very fast D.Va bomb out here already.
Oh no, Blue Jay getting clipped on there by Dyer with that remake.
Just a bit of a squish.
A tiny bit.
Tiny.
And both teams looking to reset here.
Maintain this hold here, though.
They will. Manage to get back Chicago just not really able to capitalize on that movement there as Blue Jay moves in.
He's going to get picked early just as that remake comes online.
Zach is going down here, though, absolutely, as Echo copies the Diva here with Dyer and decides to make a play for that Dallas backline. Dyer getting caught out here, having to move back a little bit and giving Chicago that space they'll need to get their first tick.
Just before that second tick comes online, Dallas has taken a hard... Oh, staying correct, they got the tick. But Dallas is still taking the hard retake, forcing a lot of ults out here, and that's going to be a nice 2K coming in from Blue Jay.
Absolutely, and then there, Chicago's going to pick it up here. This dive comp from them, very strong. Very, very, very strong and well played. Very
well played. But I think Dallas played a very solid counter dive on the other hand, as well there. It's why they could hold that point for close to 2 minutes just about, is burning through half the attack's time. Taking the counter dive, trading support for support, trying to see who can get better value out of their dives. But I think we can argue Chicago got the most value as they were able to successfully take this point.
Yep. And Chicago taking this high ground almost immediately. As Recon pushes payload, Blue Jay taking out Zach, the Reaper diff coming out here. As Strider takes out Darklaw. Trades coming out. They're 4v4. A jump there from Winston. He gets collapsed on top of, forcing out the Primal. Suzu coming out, and Ghostface is low. This might give Dallas the space that they need, and definitely getting that ult out from Chicago is huge. They've only got one left versus the 3 here on the side of Dallas as they pop Coalescence, leaving them with no ults as they try to secure this point.
Yeah, with that, we're going to see the Death Blossom on it, take that early pick.
Oh, Blue Jay dying to that. He must have thought that he had space behind the Jeep. But, the car Jeep.
Either his head peeked out just over it, or his footsies peeked out from just under it. Either one clearly didn't do enough to protect him.
I think he walked a little bit too far forward, but he just
maybe hit the hood of the car.
But Dallas holding on here at the very edge as Chicago looks to secure point B here. Very important for them to be able to hold this here for at least one more team fight if they can manage to do so. Ghostface going down here early though, and Blue Jay. This is going to put a big dampener on their push.
It's definitely a bit of an aggressive play from Chicago, as seeing how their Recon is switching off that Moira onto Ana there. So not only are they switching heroes, they're also switching to a far slower hero, and it's looked like they started to try to take that fight down a man. And I think it definitely hurt them here. Is waste them just a little bit of time, but I think they're gonna probably try to play even more aggressive here to make that time not feel as wasted.
It's not only that, Recon now presenting a very good target here for Dyer. Taking out that heal there could change the tide of a fight. But Ghostface goes down, White Rain falling on the trade. And oh my goodness!
The double squish!
Oh my goodness, JD with the double remake with the Echo copy. Oh my god. Oh, and they use it to secure it, but are they going to be able to make it before Dallas gets back in? They are.
Like Dallas going to be unfortunately have to give that point is the.
I'm going to be honest.
Was not enough.
That Echo play is going to be one of our montage highlights here.
Oh, for sure.
Great stuff coming out there from JD. Probably one of, if not the best Echo plays you're going to see this season. Hats off to JD for securing that double remake kill. And Zach getting nobody with that. Managing to get them low enough, though, for Dyer and Strider to pick up 3.
Nice and low, forcing out those cooldowns for Dallas to just clean up there.
I'm going to be honest, this is not a good place to get stuck if you are Chicago. No, it is rough.
Not at all. Especially only having that nano there.
and they realize what must be done. They have to take that high ground if they want to fight against Dallas here from this angle. So this whole team is going to try and crash this top room. A very rare fight watching the 5v5 in here, but that Nano's going to be big, pushing out into that Dallas back line.
A lot of space in the monkey. We're getting an early pick on the Blue Jay there from the...
Absolutely, and JD is forced to ult again.
Forced to copy that Diva.
Primal coming out, and they secure a little bit of space, but I mean, they're relatively matched for ults. Not at all, actually, I lied. 3 ults there on the part of Dallas. Will they use them? As Chicago is low here in the back.
I think if I was Dallas here, I would honestly I'd wait until they get that 5 regroup, because if they back up now, give up a little bit of that space. Oh, staying corrected, but they could have easily. We have just a few seconds waited for Zach and Dyer to come back, and they could have retaken this as 5 and used as many ults as they needed to coming into these last 30 seconds.
Cam living there on the solo overclock is huge, though, and that's one,
especially with having
down.
that beat.
Strider not too happy there about that, I guarantee you. But Ghostface is caught out here and barely makes it back to his team as Dyer gets demeched for his efforts.
We're going to see that rush come out. We're going to see the rally come out as well. And they're getting that nice pick on the Ghostface there. They might not have a tank in mech, but...
Blue Jay ulting, though. Doesn't manage to pick up anybody. And that's going to be it. Great hold there on the part of Dallas.
Very, very strong hold. Great use of the rally there as well, as they might not have had the stun to cancel that Death Blossom, but that, Shield's able to hold up just long enough against it for nobody to get picked.
Yep, but I'm gonna be honest, it's been a great push here on the part of Chicago. If you're Dallas, that's it might not be all the way, but you got a ways to go.
Very long. You got a long push there, and it's typical round 2 defense there. You just want to full hold that point. You don't even want to give them a chance to get pushed as far as you did.
Absolutely. And let's see what the answer is going to be here on attack from Dallas. What are they gonna go with? And a complete comp change here on the part of Chicago.
Pulling that Junkrat out.
That
Junkrat we've seen in the past here on Numbani. That Junkrat is a lethal menace.
More than that, the JD legendary Torb coming out. That's a scary pick. We've had
it's a classic pick.
That's a classic Houston 2 seasons ago pick. Gotta remember that Torb went, what was it, 27-0, 25-0, something like that, 27-0.
I don't really remember. I unfortunately was not playing then. I'm very fresh face around here.
Yeah, Dark Claw JD there went 27-0, one tricking Torbjorn, playing nothing but that for an entire season, and won Grand Finals on that Torbjorn. It is a Torbjorn to be feared. Complete with hammer kills. But as we watch them round out the back of the point here, on the side of Dallas, Chicago gets pushed back. The biggest part of this comp is making sure that turret goes down. If it doesn't, and there we go, Strider takes it down. As I was saying, if you don't take it down, you're in trouble. For those of you who were looking for a Junkrat, Blue Jay has gone ahead and obliged. As Dallas take the fight to high ground, Dyer getting demeched, and in the battle of Diva versus Diva, Diva wins.
That's what it's looking like here, and despite it all, Dallas still taking a lot of space, but it's not going to be enough for Dyer's going to fall, and Log's going to follow suit real soon. Not without taking
Yana with them.
Absolutely, but Chicago holding strong. This comp definitely. Dyer said, you know what? Enough. We're going with the Zarya again. And
it worked
we'll see how that goes.
Point, let's do it. Or last map, let's do it again.
Strider has been unceremoniously removed from this engagement, though. as Chicago manages to catch him out behind the point. Oh, to the side of the point.
Very unlucky for Dallas there.
Absolutely.
Just delays their pushes again.
By just a little bit, but each second is a precious moment in time here, as Dallas says it's time to go and looks to take this high ground. And Rush coming out on the side of Chicago, and they're going to clean up too here as their backline gets absolutely shredded. You know, if Ghostface doesn't get burned on that D.Va by the Zarya, it's going to be a rough day for this Dallas team.
Especially with playing Zarya into Torb and Junkrat. That is just, you know, I would love to see what the average energy is at the end of this this match, because it's going to have to be in the 70s or 80s at least.
It is, but I mean, at this point, you can't get to point. The desperate ult there coming out from JD. Is he going to be able to get the pick on a Dire? He is not. Ghostface goes down, and Dallas are going to take this point in emphatic fashion.
It's a very successful overclock from the side of Strider there. Definitely got those 2 early picks there to help cement that advantage going into this point, and is also what forced out that Torbjorn ult as well.
There you go, and Smooth saying that the Zarya pick doesn't even matter. The Junkrat aura is what we're here for. I would agree, except Chicago just lost point. Remains to be seen, though. There's a lot of Overwatch left to play here.
And as we're talking about it, he gets picked immediately into the next fight. So.
Oh no, I wasn't.
Maybe we're missing the aura just a little bit.
Zach pulling out the best play I have ever seen. Fantastic play from Dire, ulting the turret, followed up by a grab onto the ground. Great stuff there. Fantastic Overwatch coming out here from both teams. As we make an effort here to pick Ghostface, and Dire tries to not get absolutely rolled by. Oh my goodness! What was that? Oh
the right click and the mine. Oh, this is truly Overwatch. We are watching Overwatch at play right here.
Wow! What an incredible play there from Dire to make it out. Oh my goodness! What was that?
Oh. That was something else. I was thinking the same thing. Like, he's just backing himself into a corner to get picked, and then he gets out.
And please remember to go ahead and press F in the chat there if you're watching with us here on twitch.tv/United Rogue Overwatch for the turret, which just fell again. Torbjorn's crying about his babies. It's terrible. It's horrible stuff. Ghostface finally getting burned. And is this turret going to pick up anyone? It is the pick onto White Rain, but Ghostface I don't think is going to quite live through that. And Dallas...
the break in his face is going to be a little too... massive grab coming out there for 2.
What a stagger. And Dallas are going to pick up this second point here. Leaving them a little bit less than 3 minutes to push this through. Just enough time to mess it up, but also just enough to win it.
Yeah, very much. And we're going to see the Maga come out. He's done. He's tired of it. But doesn't necessarily prove to be a pure win con here. Is if Dire plays the Zarya right, the Maga might not matter.
It's possible. We've seen Maga in the past week here do wonders against teams like I don't want to talk about it. But the rush here from the Kiri combined with a Molten Core, if you're Dallas, you don't want to be anywhere near that.
You just back out. Just out.
Absolutely. But you know what? They're playing with that massive spam with the Mauga, the Torb, the Junkrat. The amount of spam damage that this team has now is frankly terrifying.
Yeah, and then you, on top of that, you have Kiri Kunai as well, just to spam down range when you're not, throwing the tickets.
I can't say I enjoy any of what I'm looking at right now.
No. Let's see the rally come out, and Law got pushing a little close there into that tiny corridor with the Junkrat, but just barely making it out thanks to Suzu.
He does. Junkrat pushing up here into Strider on the high ground. No 1v1s. As turret goes down again, and Dallas attempts to push this closer. JD
The early
finding
pick
one on the
onto
Zac.
Reaper.
Oh no, Ghostface getting burned, but it might be enough.
Yeah.
Log might
He's
die,
gonna force
and
the Nano out
oh
as
my
well.
goodness, the Nano coming out now, and they are committed to getting these ults out. Absolutely everything from this Ana is going into Ghostface. I have not seen this many resources put into a single hero for a while. But Tyre coming out here, is it going to find the pick onto Zac? Onto Dire, sorry, it does not.
No. It's gonna get
And-
destroyed instead, and
Oh my
we're gonna
goodness.
see Dallas take a map 2 here. That was
They do.
very, very mess of the last couple fights there.
Yeah. As if Dire heard the words, they just started burning tank.
Yeah. Just
I saw
completely beam down that tank.
every single cooldown both of those supports had absolutely
keep them
tunneled into
alive. Oh.
Ghostface. Oh yeah. Everything.
Which just
including
shows the
ults.
power of that full charge Zarya. Is you can have Kiri and Ana just pumping heals in,
You gotta remember,
using
there was
every
never an
cooldown,
anti.
and it might not be.
They had
Yeah.
no Ana. Yeah, there's no anti. That is, they were purely fighting that damage. No Zen, no additional damage. You know,
Yeah.
it was entirely just who can do more
Zarya
healing,
beam.
who can do more damage.
Yeah.
Um,
As we saw in the play of the game there, just that just insane Zarya beam.
well, it does eventually. It does become a question of, you know, when you're playing comps like that, it's really a question of who can boop. You know, who can bop the other tank first.
Yeah,
You know,
basically that's just what it boils down to.
Yeah,
and-
because that Zarya is going to be near 100 charge against a Junkrat, Torb, and Malga. That Zarya
Yeah.
is going to be 100 charge all the time, just off of cooldown. But incredible. I mean, honestly, they were attempting to, you know, especially with that junk tire that they kept on getting. Tried to go after Dire time and time again, and Dire was just living through these junk tires.
either bubbling that tire, or just able to melt it fast enough.
Yeah, having that bubble for junk tire and still managing to live and do the damage. I'm gonna be honest. Hats off here to Dire on that Zarya.
Yeah, very
Um,
much.
However, though, if you are a Chicago fan here in the chat, do remember that we're not out of the woods just yet. It is a best
No.
of 5, meaning at minimum we still got one more map left. But the way we've seen this go, Chicago could snap back here right at any moment and put Dallas here on the back foot instead. So
It's even this last map was still quite close. As things boiling things down to those last couple seconds of each side. There is I don't remember the exact time on the clock, but I know Dallas was close to that last minute, if not within that last minute on their attack as well. So you know it might the 2-0 on paper looks extremely convincing of a Dallas sided series, but it's not. It really just it has been a very, very close game, and it has just been down to the wire for either team.
absolutely. And I mean, as we move on here to the last map, Circuit Royale is going to be our third map pick here. Well, second pick after the ban phase. And I wonder, are we going to be seeing a Widow here? Do you think we're going to see a Widow, a little bit of Sigma action? What are we going to be looking at?
I mean, we know Sigma's pretty typical for this map, but I would love to see a Widow. I know Strider's definitely a hit scan player. I don't see why he wouldn't pull it out. Could pull out the Ashe instead though. If they're running, you know, they're continuing to run this the Dire on tank here and put Zac on the DPS. That's likely what we're going to see. I think if they switch it back around, maybe have Zac take this Sigma. I think it's guaranteed Dire's going to run Ashe.
Absolutely.
If anything, so.
And
Maybe we'll see the rare Rat again. Maybe Blue Jay will say, I want to play Rat still. Maybe we'll see something interesting.
I mean, looking at this purely from just a standings standpoint here, you know, Chicago is higher up on the leaderboard there than Dallas is. theoretically, I mean, it is only week 4, but it's halfway through our regular season.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago is above Dallas. This is technically Dallas coming in from behind.
Yeah, I was on paper. This is a Chicago-sided series. Is on paper they are the favored to win, but Dallas is that I think they like being the underdog. I won't lie. I think it's definitely helping that morale for them.
Absolutely. I mean, it's on the one hand, it's helping the morale. On the other hand, while there may not be any hard feelings between these teams, as these are friends, I'm sure you know that when you face off against your friends, a lot of the times you want to win that much more.
Yes, very much so. You definitely want to be able to one up those people close. You want those bragging rights. That's so much more important than the win. To be completely honest.
Take a look at that. I spoke it into existence.
The Widow duel and the Zens coming out here.
Yeah, the Zens and the Sigmas. And the Maze. They're doing it again.
Wow. Almost mirroring comps.
They're doing it again.
Is someone in the do they have people in the voice booth again? Do we have people in the casting booth listening in?
It's just us in here. What's going on though? What is this?
I don't know.
Immediate pick from Blue Jay onto Strider. Sit down, he says.
Not even enough time to react to it either.
Absolutely not. Those doors open and Strider falls.
A very aggressive Maywall coming out here as well.
If you're Chicago, you absolutely needed that. Gives you a lot of that space that the Widow can't shut down anymore. Anti going out there onto Dire. And Soup Can picking out White Rain. Zach taking out JD. These are just mirror picks. They're picking one another's mirrors, one after the other. Just watch 3 1v1s go down. Now we gotta let the Sigs duel it out.
That's all that's left.
Yeah, so it really is all that's left. Are we gonna see it happen?
I hope so. I think that would make for an exciting moment here.
Absolutely. On a more related note here, Chicago has got all their players here, took a lot of the space, and they forced Dire out here. Does he manage to live? He does not, and there it is. Ghostface takes out Dire with the help of that Maywall, and we have secured all of the players have picked their picks, and Chicago takes first point here.
Just as we said that the switches are about to come out, they're done. All the 1v1s happened. They're out of it.
Blue Jay has just pulled off a fantastic, 2-3K he got there? You need to shut down this Widow.
Just complete dominance on this Widow here.
This
taking
Widow
control of the map.
Got to die. It has to die. I'm going to be honest, I don't necessarily know what Zarya is to pick here. I might even go for a dive comp.
Definitely won't be very successful. I think Dire's going for the comfortability of the Zarya here. It's been working for him quite well in the past 2 maps, and it's a very solid matchup into Sigma.
It really is, but this Widow could wreak havoc on you. You got nothing to take out that Widow. Fighting a poke comp here with the Zarya, I'm not quite sure that's the move.
What? It's very... We're going to see that transcend soon. It's very, very back and forth looking fight here, because we saw that Widow get picked, but then just as soon as that happened, Dire falls, and I think despite the staggering in, it's going to look... This fight's looking to come up Chicago, but, Zach's going down swinging there. Letting that Lucio... Oh, I lied. Lucio didn't escape. I was about to comment on it, and I look at the kill feed.
Yep, doesn't happen. Recon securing that kill there onto White Rain, but Chicago is looking at an over 5-minute timer here on point C here on attack. You don't want to be Dallas here. You really don't.
Not at all.
And here's the question: can they keep the snowball rolling?
Speaking of snowball, we have that blizzard coming out.
And forcing out Dire. What an amazing zoning ult. Are they going to be able to capitalize on that? Oh,
very much so with that grab.
Oh my goodness. And Ghostface is 1 HP. He probably ended up getting picked. And Blue Jay is finally all alone.
Very strong showing.
Just to pick up White Rain.
And strong Lucio.
Oh, Strider! Oh,
Ooh,
you were
That's
greedy.
rough. That has
That was
gotta
a
be rough. Yeah,
greedy play.
Very greedy play, and it got him punished. But
Oh
he's gonna
no.
catch that quick respawn regardless.
Oh my goodness. And Rico absolutely glazing Soup Can over here, calling him the incarnation of Jay Jonak. That's high praise here for I don't
Yeah.
believe he's even from New York. Or Korea for that matter.
I do not think so either.
But Dallas here attempting to hold this angle. Oh, finally manages to just kill Blue Jay. Strider has had enough. Get over here, he says.
I would too after that greedy play. I'd be done with it all as well.
Absolutely.
So
A
that beat come out
great
to
beat
save
there
from
coming
the-
out. Not
It's not gonna save the
quite
Lucio,
enough.
but it'll save everyone else.
It will, and
they're
Strider's
gonna
going to get
take
the pick on the
Ghostface
Ghostface. As 2 minutes are taken off that 5+ minute timer here. If you are Dallas, you are looking at this Widow with pure hunger in your eyes. Boy, oh boy.
Oh, they're going for you in the chat right now. We had the wrong call. Smooth is making the Jonak reincarnation claim. So I'm thinking if we're gonna target, if we're gonna throw strays at someone, we gotta throw it at the right people, I suppose.
No, no. I'm being called out in the chat.
Yeah.
He's JD special. Wait, that was Smooth, not me. I'm catching strays. Rico, I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
I'm trying to glance between the one monitor and the other, you know?
Yeah, I
that's my
know.
bad.
I feel that. I feel that as well. I do the same thing. I glance over every so often, and I notice that.
Oh my goodness, I take it back. Smooth, you're the one going down.
And speaking of having enough, I think Ghostface had enough. He's going the Maga here.
Yeah, oh my goodness, the Bastion May. Oh, it's
that grab
disgusting.
come in, but they're gonna
Oh, it's disgusting.
transcend the Nano. Oh man.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
But the 3K!
With the 3K!
Oh, it did not matter how many
goodness.
resources they pumped into that
Oh
Maga.
goodness.
Oh man.
Great stuff. Whoever just said besmirch, neither of you can spell the word besmirch correctly. It's IRCH. Get out of here.
We've spent so long reading the chat, we zoned out for 2 fights. Now we come back into the 3K. Oh man.
We're terrible casters out here. 120 here though on the clock. Point
Closing
C,
to
Chicago
last
looking
minute
to
for
take
Chicago
it.
here.
And I'm gonna be honest, Zach looking like he's in a real compromising position here. Are Chicago going all the way around?
Oh, they are going for the deep one.
LA Gladiators ring around the rosy, grab the high ground, drop on them, and do the nasty. Here we go. It doesn't really quite work. I mean, they get a little bit of
I
payload
think they just took the
progress
high
for
ground. I
this.
think that's about all that happened.
I think they've taken the high ground, but there's not really much they're going to be able to do here. Oh my god, they're just going in. They're going
absolutely going in deep. We're gonna see the
they-
double Caesar. Oh,
They do manage to pick
the
out
rush got
one,
shut
two.
down.
It
Oh.
happened. The Malga off the top rope. The tombstone pile driver. People's elbow. 5-knuckle shuffle. He does it.
We're gonna see a Doom here for this last minute stall, and I think he's gonna get that touch. Will it matter?
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think they're gonna get it here.
I
Yep, there it
very much
is.
think so as well.
It is over.
Huh? I mean, any attempt to get it into overtime is something.
Um. Well, 15 seconds on the clock there on the part of Chicago. If you're Dallas here, you've got a long slog here through circuit.
Yeah. Very, very long slog. But
Yeah.
they finished that in more than that minute. That's definitely going to be a lot stronger of a time to play with for them. They have to beat that 1 minute. That's what they got to do here.
Absolutely, and I think I've been roasted in the chat enough. Ah, goodness. Thanks, guys. We appreciate all our viewers here on Twitch.
Very much so. I appreciate the call out of being sleep deprived today. That is definitely a factual statement.
I am for some reason stuck here in the spawn. With
no! Let's see if I can clip through that wall and get back in there. See what they're cooking.
It is not letting me clip out. A Rhine here on the part of Dire?
Yeah, I was just about to say that's a very, very interesting pick coming out.
No, never mind. We got baited. It was a bait. Bait and switch.
We were trolled. Maybe showing off a skin or something.
We've been reassigned. Thank you, Dragon. We appreciate you.
I just have to lock in and chug my G Fuel and I'll be good to go.
There you go. Some real gamer blood right there.
Lead in the water, as they say.
Nope.
So we're seeing a very, very aggressive fight here from Dallas. They don't care about the wall. They go around.
Dire pretty much 1 HP here, though. Manages to get the pick on the Blue Jay. And is Zen going to go down? Soupcan does. Dire with a 2K.
Lucio speed
3K. And that's it. JD falling. And they absolutely don't care.
They left the cart behind, but they don't care when they're going to get all 5. Very much playing to that Lucio speed boost and that teleporter there. Just the combination of the two just allowed them to take basically the entirety of the first run here on circuit.
It is, but that zoning there from Chicago, you gotta understand, pretty smart. I mean, they managed to separate them from that payload for a while, and they're gonna be able to get this team fight back, almost in for a second one here.
But it's still closing in. Is that it's they lose this fight. Now they have first point. They only get these 2 fights here for this first point. So
absolutely, and a big grab
coming out.
Forcing out Ice Block, forcing out all defensive cooldowns here on the part of Chicago. Gonna get that 2K, 3K onto Dark Claw, and it's just the supports now as Soupcan and Recon get cleaned up. Dallas is moving here on attack.
Very much. They are just completely cleaning house. There, I don't know. I couldn't think of the expression for a second. I have to drink the G Fuel. It's got to wake me up.
There you go. One every sip of G Fuel. Please do remember that United Rogue Overwatch is not sponsored by G Fuel, though. If you'd like,
not at all. That was what I chose to use when I got home. Oop. See a beat come out to counter that Flux.
There we go.
Just immediately into the Blizzard, but that Suzu's going to keep that Zarya up there. They're going to lose the Kiriko, but Dallas doesn't seem to care.
Super high charge.
Yeah,
almost 100 charge here.
We're going to see that Sigma, not Sigma.
He's just getting negated here. He's making his way out, leaving Log and Strider to fend for themselves. Dire's going to attempt to conserve some energy. Absolutely. Smart play there on the part of Dire. Retreat. 2 of your players may die, but it's better than losing that charge.
Yeah. And they're willing to give a few time here. They got halfway to through a second run here, 4 minutes on the clock. So they have more than enough time to take a fight or to give a fight or two.
And here we go. Dire moving up here. Oh,
just massive grab again, and he used that Death Blossom with it as well. And it's just going to be a complete cleanup.
An absolute stomp here on the part of Dallas. And I'm going to be honest, I think this might be point take here on point B from Dallas.
I don't think Chicago's going to be able to get a recontest, not without running, sim TP of their own. And just
there's no way. Dallas knows it. As they take this point, not quite the 5+ minutes here that you saw on the part of Chicago, but 440, it's more than enough.
Yeah, it's very much more than enough to take this 3rd point.
Yep.
They are going and they want that Lucio.
Chicago realizing that the best thing that they can do here is just play aggressive. Trying to take that space, but not going to work here. Strider manages to take out Soupcan.
Picked here.
Gets a trade, but they're up by 1 here on the part of Dallas. And Ghostface and the rest of Chicago are going to need to regroup here.
That cart's just cresting that halfway point, and Dallas has just been buying the space here. They're basically hold this last little bit of this choke. As all Chicago's going for them, so it's...
They're about to... They've reset...
We're going to see that Blizzard come out.
Oh, the Ajax
And it
onto
got shut
JD!
down.
Oh, no! Oh, that's a
this third point is just taking ults as on the
Blue Jay looking
Dallas
for that
defense.
Death Blossom on high ground though.
Yeah, definitely
the Reaper 1v1. He's gonna drop right here in a second. Here it is, and boom!
On the
two going down to it. Great ult there on the part of Blue Jay. They did not call that out, unfortunately. A lack of comms there. And Ghostface sees the opportunity to burn Dire and get rid of that charge, picking up the staggers onto both Strider and Dire there on the part of Dallas.
Despite it all, Dallas coming with 4 ults in this fight, and well placed. If Dire hits another one of these grabs, he's been hitting all night.
Absolutely,
that's gonna be an easily one fight with that Death Blossom. They won't even need the support ults here. So
I'm gonna be honest.
Definitely. Dallas is going to try to play this advantage here.
Oh my goodness, the extremely aggressive plays here.
Speaking of those grabs.
That grab.
Yep.
Great stuff.
And they're going to use that nano in the process too on the side of Chicago, and it doesn't matter.
And they stagger Recon there at the very end, breaking that turret, and they're moving on to that final fight. I mean, this payload moving here finally into the last little final area here. And in this atrium, whatever it is. And ults are going to come out.
Fox for Fox. We're going to see that pick on that tournament. Big anti coming out.
There it is. Cage coming out. And do they manage to burn Ghostface or Blue Jay? They do.
Burn Blue Jay first, but...
And the supports go down.
Recon, and it's...
Supports get burned. It's just Ghostface. Does he manage to live? And he doesn't.
I don't think Maga's gonna sustain.
Oh my goodness! And Dallas are your winners here.
No, it's round 2.
Oh, you're right. They made it with 15 seconds. You're
they had 15 seconds, but it's exactly what Dallas wanted. They had more than a minute, so they get. I think what is it? 45 seconds or so? 30 seconds? Regardless, Dallas is gonna have 2.5 minutes on their attack against Chicago's lone minute.
Absolutely. They could absolutely pull this out on the part of Chicago. Pardonnez-moi here. Forgot about those 15 seconds. All important. Just another showing of every single second here counts. It might be 15 seconds, but it could be the difference between you and a loss.
Exactly. And they might have that lone minute. They could push all 3 in that minute. It requires them never dropping a fight, but you never know.
There you go, and our firings being debated in the chat. This could be the last day for us.
I know.
Specifically me, I think it could be the last day for them. I don't know. I think most of this is with me. I think you're just collateral damage. I'm not gonna.
I think I'm the one catching strays now.
You really are. Yeah. This is what have you done here wrong? Oh my goodness! It's gonna be murder in the casting booth here in a moment.
So suddenly I'm going to be casting with someone else, and I'm going to have to just act like nothing happened.
Caster selling on God. Gosh. Oh, man. Thanks. We appreciate it. We got the Bastion pick here now. Yeah, May Bastion. They were running this a little bit ago. Now with the Malga and all that, they're now all in on this play. Suzu coming out here
early, and the ice block.
All of the defensive cooldowns coming out, and Blue Jay and Zach are going to get traded. There you go. And Recon getting slept out. Oh, and that anti's absolutely brutal on Ghostface. They need to stagger as many as they can here. I think Ghostface makes it out. Sorry, not Ghostface. Soup Can makes it out. And they'll be back here for one last team fight here. But if they don't win this is it. Yep. You need to push this payload a bit further. You don't want to get stuck here on defense.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So that Malga but just getting very melted very fast.
Oh,
and that's a massive anti coming out,
Big
forcing
Suzu though. Great Suzu coming out. Oh no, and Ghostface going down. As big damage comes out here, but Dire's caught out. Does he manage to live?
But it might have he's going to hit the grab at the last second there.
Oh, no.
Before getting walled off, but that's looking like it for Chicago's attack here. 2.5 minutes to get around the corner.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be rough. If you are Chicago, this is a rough hold, and a very rough hold at that. Oh man.
We were calling for map 5. We were
calling
for it to be
yeah.
close off that that first map was really close, but as I think they're listening in. As I said, I think Dallas heard us and they had to prove us wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dallas is really, really, especially on this Circuit Royale, Dallas has definitely been asserting their dominance. So the second that side flip, they got to attack, they said, I understand it now.
Yep. And Foliage, I think, correctly pointed out here that Dyer kind of carried this one. Absolutely.
No, and it's not just with the Zaryas. Watching on that Nambani is he had Diva Bomb in 90 seconds, barely. He had a bomb almost every fight, as well as he's just consistently farming these tank ults almost every other fight, if not every fight.
Oh yeah. But here we go. I mean, Chicago needs to play conservative and yet aggressive at the same time. Yeah. If they let Dyer get that high charge, it's game, set,
it's just
match.
The beam. Complete limit. So I think that's where this the thought behind this Pharah is here, is to try to maybe play around. Can't be beamed out of the sky, maybe, but
absolutely. But it
doesn't matter. He's gonna get that early pick.
Recon's gonna go for the res. Doesn't go for it. Oh no! And they're now down 1. This could be a hard for
massive anti, and they're not running the Kiri anymore, so doesn't look like that matters.
Ghostface getting picked, and I think that's going to be our match here. And Dallas Vanguard make it through, and now here it is, the 3-0 from Dallas.
3-0 win. Wow.
GG's to both teams. We thought it was going to go to a possible Game 5, but Dallas getting in their groove there in the second half.
Very much locking in, yeah.
Yep, and managing to pull this one out. We thank you very much for joining us. We'll be heading here into Week 5. Happy Thanksgiving to our American viewers and players. Yep. And we'll see you guys 2 weeks from now in Week 5.
2 weeks. Exciting Week 5.